Hey guys, you're watching Gnome, and only my name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. We are in the middle here, we just started really building a sort of Gnome garden pondy style roller coaster. And we're going to have a track that sort of goes up and around him and down and into the water. And we went through a few little ideas last episode. And after the episode, I went on to Google and I just typed in like ponds, garden ponds. Because I wanted to see what people in real life do. I want to make this bigger, I think. I want to see what people in real life do with ponds. You know, I've got, at mine, I've sort of got a little pond, but it's got ducks in it. You see, it's a duck pond. So it doesn't really have gnomes and stuff around it. But I wanted to get ones, sort of small little garden ponds that might have a few goldfish in it and stuff like that. Anyway, so I Googled it, and surprisingly enough, none of them really looked that special. I was expecting to see some really, really cool, special looking ponds. I didn't really find any. So then I thought, well, I sort of search, what was it? Ponds with gnomes, I think I searched. Garden ponds with gnomes. And one of the pictures that came up on Google made me laugh so hard. It was like a little gnome, like how we've built here. But he was bent over with his trousers down, showing his bum. It was just so funny. I was so tempted to build it. The only trouble is I don't think that I could build it in a way that it would look good. Doing a gnome bum would be so funny, like right there, and just have his bum showing this way. Oh man, it'd make me laugh. But I don't think we can pull it off, so we're gonna leave that. But I did get some interesting, or one at least, two ideas for that I hadn't really thought of. Number one is they all seem to have a little water feature, if it be a fountain like coming out of the middle, and it's like just like a little water stream or something like that going up into the sky, or some sort of rock formation with a waterfall. Now I really like that idea, so I think we're going to do that maybe at the back and have a little waterfall going in there. And then the only other thing that I sort of hadn't really thought of were ferns around the side, obviously taller ferns, because this is like an oversized pond garden, you know, thing, and bulrushes. I don't know if any of you have ever seen a bulrush before. I'm sure you have. I don't know where you've been if you haven't, but a bulrush is basically like a little tiny, or well, a tall plant. It's not really that small, but it's like a plant that grows near water. Maybe another one or two. They're quite big in real life. And then it has like a little, it basically looks like a hot dog on a stick. Is the easiest way to explain it. I want some green. Oh yeah, that's a good green. Just as some, I don't know, something like this. They look really weird, bulrushes do. But they're I don't know, in America, we don't really have them over here, but in America you have like corn dogs, which are like, I don't know exactly what they are. They're like a sausage on a stick or whatever, you know, something like a sausage on a stick. And that's sort of what a bulrush looks like. I'm not quite yeah, I do like the green actually. If we'd done a few of those, this is like insanely small in comparison in real life. If you imagine a gnome is that big in real life, a bulrush, I mean, some bulrushes can be as tall as you, so like, if a gnome was that small to you, and we were up here, you know, and we looked down at the pond and see the gnome there, bulrush would be up to about this height, but we're going to do some smaller ones, I think, and just dot them around, and it could be quite cool to weave a roller coaster track in and out of. I think that would be pretty cool, so we're going to do just a couple of these about, maybe 3 or 4 of them. They're just slightly different heights. Like this one over here can be the shortest one. Something like that high, I think. Yes, like one below the other one. And then we'll do another, another one over here. And that one, like there. And then maybe one more, or do we stick with the power of 3s and keep it like that? Maybe keep it like that. Let's work on the waterfall. I have not quite fully decided yet. This might seem like a really weird question, but I'm not quite sure if I want to put water in the pond, or if I want to fill it with wool or lapis or whatever. Probably this wool would be nicest out of if we were going to use a block. But the reason why I say that is because I want the roller coaster to be able to ride on it, like skim across it. We can either fill it all up with these and then just put the track on top, or we can have water and then put blocks where we want the roller coaster to be. So I don't know. We shall see when we get there. But let's work on a little bit of a rock formation. I like this. This is in this texture pack is cobblestone, and it's got like a cut brick texture. So it's gonna be like it's a fountain bought from a shop is what I really want. So we're gonna do something. I think something not quite symmetrical, but like has aspects of being symmetrical. And how do we want this waterfall to go? Do we want it to go like the water falls down like these 8 steps or whatever, however many it is, 7 steps, like fall down 7 steps, 7 steps, 7 steps, 7 steps, or do we want it to go from like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or like 2 on this side and 2 on this side, or what? After looking, most waterfalls, I think, you know what I think we should do? I think we should do a waterfall similar to the one that we done on the build battle. You know when we got forced to build a... Forced? As if it was non-optional. We got forced to build a waterfall in, what was it, 5 minutes, obviously the build battle is. And it was tough. It was tough to build a whole waterfall in 5 minutes. But the way we ended up doing it, I really, really liked. It sort of had these little rocks coming out of it, like spikes coming out of it, with torches on it. Now, a lot of fountains and waterfalls that you can buy from shops have a sort of LED light things on them. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm sure you've seen them before, with the little LEDs on them. I want to try and do something like that. Now, this is where we're going to stop going quite as symmetrical as we were, and instead get a little bit more of a random rock formation. So I'm not going to be quite as careful where we place these blocks now. We want to get it a little bit more random. Something like that. How are we looking? Looking pretty nice. We've got a nice beginning. I want to get this side a little bit higher though. Make a sort of like a castle tower almost, but not quite. But just like a spiky rock up this side. Sort of build this up a little bit. Something like that. That's looking a little bit better, but we'll go a little bit higher. Like that. Maybe up another couple there. Just gotta tweak it a little bit. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Okay, so now I want to really ramp up the front here. I think I'm gonna do it like that, and then like that, and then start really ramping this up. So we're gonna do like a 2 high bit here. And then once we put the water down, we'll then work out exactly where we want to direct the water and how we want to move the water to make it look good. See, at the moment here, we've got this sort of very diagonal look. I don't like that, so that's going to be touched up towards the end here. And I want to keep it a flat back. I know it might sound a little bit weird, but when you buy them, you usually would place this up against other rocks. Or I think we've got a little water feature that we've got ours placed against up against a building, like a little building there. So having a flat back is obviously a lot more easier to build what you need onto it. Okay, so we're gonna have it like that, and then have the water sort of come out of the top in a line, I think, and then flow down, something like that, as if it was being pumped up. Okay, and then I think we're gonna keep a flat back on here, where you'd be able to remove the back and put in batteries for the LED lights, or to change the filter, you know, clean the filter on the pump itself. So we'll keep it with a flat back, and I think it'll also square off the ride a little bit if it's got a flat back on it. So we'll have that like that. Now, how are we looking? Looking really nice. I can already see sort of how I want it to be. I think what we're going to do here is make a smaller rock. I think we'll be doing some more rocks around the edge. But I want like a rock on this side. Like that. And sort of build this up quite steep. Quite a steep rock. Going as random as I possibly can. I'm really not trying to, or trying not to think about exactly where I'm placing these blocks. Because when you start thinking about them, you automatically, you can't help it. You start making patterns instead. It's just something that, at least I do. I always go, oh, if I put that one there, it'll then be symmetrical. But obviously symmetrical isn't what we want here. We want anything but symmetrical. Something like that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then, as I said, this was a little bit... Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, and what's this side look like? This has got like a weird pattern going on, so we shall add something like that, I think. That looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're ready for the water to flow down. This is going to take a little bit of testing. But I want to have this here just to stop water from going absolutely crazy. And then I think what we're going to do, the way we're going to do this is maybe place down a back and then place the water onto that. Because I want the water to go down there, but it looks like it's coming up and then sort of pumping out. Now that has actually gone really, really well. None of the water has actually really gone onto the land itself. But I think we can change this up a little bit. So I want to get a different stone. Now, stone itself, what would be smooth stone, is too similar to cobblestone. It doesn't stand out enough. Bedrock, strangely enough, is the best option that I've seen at the moment. Or gravel. Gravel's better than bedrock. Yeah, I like the look of gravel. The hardened clay might look good in some spots as well. But anyway, let's get some gravel going here. So I want to have a stick up there. That is very similar still to cobblestone. What if we done another stick of this as a comparison? What stands out more? I still think I like the gravel. But that's too high. We're going to drop that down by maybe 2. And then I want to have another one in like that. And what we're trying to do with using this gravel, we're trying to direct the water where we want it. A little bit easier, see? So we block that away and that stops the water coming down there. I can put a little bit of a tiny little rock part along here. Build this out a little bit. Something like that. Yeah, that looks okay. So we're sort of forcing it into the pond itself. On this side, this needs to be touched up a little bit. I'm going to have a gravel. Oh, that's not gravel. In fact, I think I want the gravel on that one. Like that. And then another gravel one there. Not the same height. And then maybe one more in the middle. Oh. Oh, I like that. See how it makes a little triangle poke out? Oh, yeah, we get some really cool shape with that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, that looks pretty good. I like that as a sort of, as a start at least, to a bit of a water feature. I think it blends in very, very well with the gnome look. So let's fill this up with water. And I think we might even this episode start to think about the track and where the track's going to go. We've sort of built this backwards to how I usually do roller coasters most of the time. I don't think we've done it every time, but most of the time. We build the track first. We get the style of track and the route of the track, and then once we've got that down, we then start building the aesthetical parts around it. It's a lot easier to build a track that way. The only trouble is that you end up with not quite enough room sometimes for all the bits that you want. I think I'd rather stick with the aesthetical bits for now. Okay, so I said I wanted a fish coming out of this water here. I'm going to go for a goldfish because I think that just makes more sense. I don't want him on the end of the rod, but I just want a little face or something like that. Like coming out, if we had like an eye, maybe with an item frame. we had that, and then I'm thinking about white, but black might be better. Oops. That would be a white eye, or this would be a black eye. Which do you like better, white eye? Or, nah, yeah, black eye. Okay, little fish. And then maybe a quartz stare as the mouth. Because remember, we're building this sort of upwards. Ooh, it's sort of what I want, but not quite. If we put like a little fin in on either side. No, it doesn't really look like a fish coming out of the water, does it? No, I don't think so. Did I make a hole in the ground? No, I didn't. I want a fish. I want a fish in the water. Maybe if we do it on its belly instead. And then have the fin in like that. Maybe like that and that. Oops. It's so hard. It's so hard to do it at such a small scale. That's the problem. What if we made a white fish instead of a goldfish, and that can then use slabs and stairs, so we get a little bit more option. Never built a fish to this scale before, so it's my first time. Let's have a fin like that. That's the hiccups, tail fin, and then we'll have a sort of body like that, and then the head. It's like a mini whale. I sort of like it. And then, well, we can't really do. I could do that. That doesn't look too bad. Or that. Oh, I like that. I think I like that the best. Okay, and then we'll have a little fish eye on either side. That makes it look very fish-like. And then maybe if I swap that with that and then put a slab on top, it looks like a sort of top fin. Yeah, it's like a little mud skipper or something like that. Not really a fish is what I wanted, but it does look like some sort of aquatic pond style thing, at least. Okay, I want to get a green. What other greens do we have? We've got a lime green. I think we're going to use that as some ferns in the area. So we're going to go up like a couple of blocks and then sort of make you know how we done the what are they called, the sea life center here on the theme park world? I want to do something like that, you know, with these sort of sea urchin style looking things. But with more, if we can. Maybe even mix in some darker grey as well. Green. Grey. So we have like this one come up the middle. We try and mix them in together and we end up with a pondy looking plant. I hope. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, a few of those. It looks really good from this angle. Not so much from this angle because it's very flat. I think we need like a dark green one on the back there. Yeah, that's better. That's fair. Get a few of those down. Okay, I'm just going to jump off camera for a second and put down a few more of those around the place. We've done enough of that bit sort of thing today. And I should be back because we're nearly out of time, unfortunately. Okay, I only done a little bit. I didn't do too much. I just put another 2 of those in, and then I dotted some leaves over the waterfall a little bit. Doesn't look like, as it turns out, we're going to have time to get the track down today as well, because there's a few more things that I want to do here. I want this to look really, really nice when you're going around it. I love those torches. We learned so much from doing that little build battle. So, there's also logs. Like, well, I suppose in real life, they're just sticks. That go around the side here, or there's usually at least one that a gnome is sitting on, but I don't think one is quite big enough to the scale of the garden that we're doing. I think what we're going to have to do, and I know it's not the best, but we're going to have to put like 4 in, so like a 2x2, like this to make a bigger looking log that a gnome could sit on. We might build another gnome on one. I don't know. We might do. I'm half tempted to make him be sitting on a, or you know, the chair and him on a pier, like a little wooden dock or something like that. We could do it. We could make it look pretty good by just using slabs, like some sort of wooden slabs. But that does mean making this pond even larger, which might not be such a bad thing. It's just quite a little bit of carving out, I'm afraid. But yeah, if we had him under there and then have him sitting on a dock, that could look really, really good. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, we need a lot of leaves and stuff around the edge here. Leaves, and I think I'm going to use just normal stone as they look a little bit more natural. They don't look quite as cut as the other one. But if we'd done something as simple as that, as these little tiny sort of pebbles, scatter rocks, I think we'll call them, around the side. We're starting to make a theme for this build, like a theme of building. I know it's already got a theme as in a pond, but a style of build on it. We're using very similar designs throughout. That's nice. Using very similar designs throughout in order to make a pattern that is recognizable. Like how we've got now these little rocks scattered about. They're all the same. So it's actually going to make, hopefully it doesn't make it look too repetitive. It should make it look more themed. Okay, and then the dock's going to be there. There's going to be no water, or there's going to be no rocks there because there's going to be no land there. Maybe we can just mark out exactly where we want this to go. So I want it big enough so the dock sits in it. That might have to be a little bit wider, actually. And then have this come around the back. Something like that. Yeah, you can flow around there if you want. That ain't going to do no harm. In fact, no, maybe a little bit close to the chair. Or maybe through the chair, actually, the edge of it. So if we have it go through here instead. And then land this back up again. Yeah, that might look a lot better. And then the dock goes from a little bit of land, at least, into the water. Back here. Yeah, something like that, and then take that middle part away. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, we'll do it. Why not? I think we're over time for this episode already. We might as well go for another couple of minutes. I've done this last episode. I'm really hooked at the moment to the theme park world, especially when we've got a plan going and a plan in my head. I find it very, very difficult to stop and just go and do something else. I just like to keep going. I hope you guys don't mind. That one there. The water should fill in. If not, we can put a couple of little water buckets down to help out along here. And then a little dock should be very, very easy, and we'll add a lot to the whole build. There we go. That fill in over this side as well? Yeah, it did. Perfect. And then if we grab, I'm thinking dark oak, because it's very, very different to all the other ones that we've done so far. Let's just get a potion of Splash Me. A potion of Splash Me. They need to rename it to that. Definitely. Okay, so this is where the dock's going to be. I think I actually want to go one wider than the what I did on the other side. Around here. I might leave the corner for a log to go in there to hold the rest of it up. And then have this back here. And obviously underneath the chair as well. Yeah, as a little fishing dock for him. It's a little bit of a cheat because obviously it's going to cover up a little bit of his feet. But if we don't do it this way, it means we're going to have to raise up the whole gnome by one. Which isn't fun for anybody to do. But I don't think it's going to make a difference. I don't think you're going to be able to really tell a difference. Unless you watched the episode. Like that. Yeah, and then if we get maybe some dark oak logs as well, just to match. To go in there. And there. And maybe... Oh, no, not there. There. How many blocks is that in between then? That is 6... Yeah, 6 blocks in between the two. So, that. And then 6 blocks again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One right there. Oh, that's only got to be too high, though. That one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's that one. Is that right? Yeah, looks right. Perfect. Okay, so we've got a little fishing dock for him now. That's looking really cool once we back off. Imagine a roller coaster that goes up his arm and around, weaves between the bulrushes, bulrushes, skims across the pond, goes up the waterfall or down the waterfall. I think would probably be better over the log. Yeah, definitely. A little bit more touching up to do aesthetically, some more rocks and definitely a lot of leaves around the place to really fill it out, make a little bit of a mini hedgerow or something like that. Very rough one though, we don't want it neat at all. But we're going to have to leave it there, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe and see you in the next episode. Bye!